Yo guys, Vision here, back with more Call of Duty Zombies content. Today's episode will be around Origins, arguably the greatest zombies map of all time, with an amazing Easter egg, elemental weapons for the first time, a challenging map layout, and just a difficult experience for the most part, as well as much more. This is episode 4 of the Zombies series, with my previous episodes being based on the World at War maps and Keynote Totem from Black Ops 1, which are linked in the description below. So on that note, let's get right into it. So first things first, as a general overview, I think we can all agree, hopefully, that Origins is the greatest map of all time. If not, I'd love to know why down below in the comments, as I truly believe this map ticks all of the boxes. At worst case, it's top 3. I have changed my mind a few times on where this map lies, but it's 100% in my top 3. If not, let me know which map is your favorite, because I'd be interested to know. As always, it's a hardcore map. This map layout is just wicked, although a lot of the running around on this map can get a bit tedious, and a lot of it is in the Easter egg. You just have to pretty much run around for the most part, which is legit like the only flaw this map has. It has 4 elemental weapons, the first map to ever do this at this point, as well as a crazy Easter egg. Of course, no boss fight, another maybe flaw you could argue, but at this point, no maps had any boss fights, so you can't really fault it. But the experience itself was just insane, with juggling the walking robots and fighting the panzers, collecting the G-strikes, the chi, or the Hadoken as some players like to refer to it as, and then not to forget the amazing teleportation aspect with the excavation site and the gramophone, going to the actual crazy place in itself. All of the collectible items with regards to like the discs and the staff parts, all of it just in all an amazing map, an amazing experience, especially in its prime. Being here for this moment, doing the Easter egg for the first time, has to be one of the best memorable experiences in my entire gaming career. Not just zombies, but overall one of the best things about this. Now, the only downside, like I said, this map has versus other top tier maps is the fact that it has no boss fight and it ends the game once you complete the Easter egg, which I don't really like, because I love maps where you can play on after all your hard work and try and achieve maybe a high round, but it's not enough of a reason for me to demote this map any further, and it is still a top tier map in my opinion. Now, in the previous episode, I have mentioned my top 3 maps of all time from, like I said, it changes from Origins, Gorokrova, and Horizon Drakkar. All 3 maps are just perfection for me, and I'll explain in sort of more in the other sort of 2 in more detail in future episodes. But getting back to this one, Black Ops 2, arguably the greatest COD of all time, right? Provided us with an amazing map set, but honorable mentions are also Shadows of Evil and Mob of the Dead as well, just to say for my top sort of rankings. I thought it'd be worth mentioning them, because like Mob of the Dead was just incredible. I think we can all agree it's definitely a top 5 house-worthy name. But guys, like I said, Black Ops 2 started with Transit, a hugely underrated map. At the time, I believe it was definitely one of the maps that people didn't really appreciate and definitely grew on us as time went on, especially with like the likes of your memories and the way you thought of that map. I think at the time it just wasn't perceived as great as it maybe could have been or should have been, especially following up from the likes of Black Ops 1. I don't think it was as great as a map as everyone made out to be. I loved it. I really thought it was just an amazing experience. I just didn't like the RNG aspect with like the likes of the EMP and so on for the actual Easter egg in itself. But I do think a hugely underrated map all the time, not to mention all of the other smaller segments that you could play, such as like the bus depot, the diner, the farm, the town, all of that. And then just go on from that, you had, as well as Nuketown Zombies, you had Die Rise, you had Mob of the Dead, Buried, and to top it all off, you had the amazing Origins, the best finale to a Call of Duty Zombies of all time in my opinion. And I'll always go back and forth with my decision, like I said, with which is the best sort of map sets in terms of which Call of Duty, whether it was Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, or even Black Ops 3. You tell me down below. I'd like to know what other guys or the other guys in this community think. Is Black Ops 2 Zombies the greatest of all time, or is it Black Ops 3? I think it's Black Ops 3 personally, but it is very, very close, and Black Ops 2 can definitely be put within a shout. I would just love to know what other people think on that, because I change my mind all the time, to be honest, just like with the top 3 maps. Now, Black Ops 2 Zombies brought us some of the buildables, an aspect that changed the methodology of Zombies gameplay and the strategy at which you played the games, and Origins with the elemental staves, they elevated Zombies to a whole new level and transcended the direction of Call of Duty into another sort of direction. I don't really think I've ever fallen in love with one of the weapons the way I did with these. My personal favorite was the lightning staff. As a massive Marvel fan and Thor fan, as you can see from my channel with Marvel Rivals content, having that lightning connection has just always excited me when playing something about it. It's just something about that aspect of a game just motivated me to want to get that staff and play this map. Like, generally, I think the playability of this map is incredible. It's challenging, don't get me wrong, and regardless of how skilled you are at zombies, at some point in this map, you need to lock in and just say you can't get by, especially to a high round, because of the terrain itself, the huge walking robots, the Freya, Odin, and Thor, as well as like the dog round equivalent, where you have to basically eliminate the zombies who attack the generators, meaning you can't just stay in the same spot forever, and at some point you have to rush around and protect those generators, meaning you have to move around. So even high rounds, that becomes really challenging. But I think for the most part, some players didn't necessarily, or one of the flaws that other players, lower skill players maybe, would have had, was that this map is just so challenging, which is why I love it. It was so demanding for your attention, and the level of detail this map had was just incredible. I loved it all. Everything that's about this map, and what it produced for the storyline, the zombies lore, the challenges that we faced, the incredible memories that I have from playing this map in its prime, being there in the moment as this community figured out this Easter egg was just a special experience for me, and learning each of the styles one by one and how to do the Easter egg solo was a proud moment for me for sure. Something I'll never forget. Something is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to start producing producing zombies content on the channel. I wanted to have a recollection of doing some of these Easter eggs, especially doing them solo. Although some players will watch this and think, or do the solo Easter eggs themselves and think that's just easy. You guys are at the same level, my friend. That is exactly what the level of proudness you should have. But doing Easter eggs on your own is not something. It's not an easy task. It's no small feat. It's doing it is just a really incredible feeling, and being able to sort of do the likes of Origins on your own, especially have the fact that you have to juggle all 4 staves and try and keep the round as low as possible. Because doing the cheese step, the bit where you got to get the template at the end, down in the excavation site, that is not easy, especially at a later round. And doing all these things just makes the experience so much better overall, and something I will not forget. After all, upgrading all 4 staffs is the majority of this Easter egg on this map, and the tricky part was always trying to do that whilst keeping the round low, as I said, because even like trying to do the 4 chests around the map, prioritizing the weather when needed for the ice staff, and many other cool aspects made this map so memorable. Like the Easter egg itself, in summary, you literally do all of the staffs. That's like the most sort of time-consuming part and the main bit. You then place all of the staffs into the actual robots themselves, which I don't really like that step. It's just a bit RNG, having to then wait for all of the robots, especially like I said, when you're doing it solo, it takes some time. But other than that, the rest of the Easter eggs is great. Getting the G strikes really easy, from getting the tablet and the tank station, taking it all the way across into the church, and then sort of getting the souls and cleansing it, and then walking it back across. That whole process is really cool. I still remember doing that for the first time, thinking that was such a hard step when it really isn't in the grand scheme of things. Getting the Max's drone, and then throwing the Max's drone and the G strike into the hole, and then getting out the Max's drone itself, and then getting it back, reclaiming it, using the zombie blood. I don't like that step either. It just annoys me, the fact that I played this on solo, and then trying to get the Max's drone itself from the dead zombie, having to get a zombie blood, find the zombie. I had it before where it bugged out and I could not find him. I could hear him, but I could not see the bloody thing, even in my zombie blood, and it just bugged out. But other than that, the Easter egg is flawless. The tablet steps, so much easier on a lower round, like I said, as a sort of general tip, I would say, if you guys wanted to do that or didn't even realize to even think of doing this, throw a G-strike, even though you're in the excavation site. Throw a G-strike, all of the zombies that are in the excavation site will be distracted, and you can easily start punching them. And remember, you don't have to kill those zombies, you simply just have to punch the white misted zombies down in the excavation site, and then you can remove them with the staff or wherever it be. And then you go to the crazy place. I love the crazy place, but this time you don't have the staves, you have to put the staves away, and then you have to survive in that place, which, again, in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't that difficult either once you get the hang of it. But doing it for the first time, I remember the excitement, the sheer joy of being able to finally accomplish that Easter egg, especially with 3 of my friends, one of them being my cousin, and being able to be able to say that we'd done the Easter egg was such a surreal feeling for me. I remember it so like it was yesterday. I remember it so clearly, and it was one of the best feelings I've ever had in gaming. The crazy place was just really fun in general, just learning that, maneuvering all of the moving obstacles, of course, and then the staffs in general. Like, just overall, this map was incredible, especially in its time. Like I said, I think this map in time has got better. Like, it has stayed relatively similar. Of course, it's not going to be as great as it was in its time. This is one of those maps that really captivated the audience and the player base, and the community in general was talking about this map forever. And like I said, it still has aged really well. But I think if you played this map in its time, you would have appreciated it much more than maybe if you had missed the boat and come back to this map a lot later, because Zombies has sort of moved in a different direction, and some players maybe would have picked this map up a lot later and wouldn't really have enjoyed this map as great as it could have been or should have been had you played it in its prime. But for me, I was there for it, and I absolutely loved it. I remember watching the videos. This was like the first time I started watching YouTube to do Zombies Easter eggs. Like, back in Black Ops 1, I literally had to figure these things out on my own with my brother. We'd go into game chat, we'd find some random people that we have no idea who they are, and we'd find a collective, like-minded group of people who like to do the Easter eggs, especially on the maps like Call of Dead, Shangri-La, and Moon. Like, that was really difficult back in the day. But on this, I could use YouTube. I had a phone. I started using YouTube. Me and my cousin figured it all out, and we helped me and my other friends trying to get this Easter egg done. And like I said, remembering doing this Easter egg was like it was yesterday. I absolutely love it, and I have some core memories that I hope I never forget. But for the most part, in summary, for some people who maybe didn't get to play this map during its time, Black Ops 2 was one of the best games ever, if not the greatest Call of Duty of all time, and the Zombies experience was incredible. I'd really love to hear what your thoughts are on the map in itself on the comments, and also, like I said earlier in the video, whether you think Black Ops 2 Zombies was better, Black Ops 3, or even Black Ops 1, maybe even Black Ops 4, but I highly doubt that. But I'd like to hear what other people think in the community in general, and just let me know down below in the comments. Is it a top map for you, or does the nostalgia play a role here? I'm truly curious to think how this map lies for the other players in the community, as I think it's aged very well, and it still remains a very challenging map for the most part, even though I've played it a ton of times. But anyways, guys, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments or tips and tricks about playing this map or Zombies in general, or even if you have any suggestions about future videos, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll get right back to you. Again, to remind you, this is the 4th episode in the series. I'm going to continue to start making Zombies content for this channel and continue this trend all the way through to Black Ops 7, and I'm going to work my way through from World at War to Black Ops 1 to now Black Ops 2, and go to Black Ops 3 and so on, and work my way all the way up to Black Ops 6 for the present day maps into Black Ops 7, because that is the purpose of the series. That's what I want to do. I want to start farming out some content for this game and just Zombies in general, because I absolutely love Zombies. As you can tell, very passionate about it, absolutely love it, and I want to keep doing it. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I said, and I'll get right back to you. I'm reminisce, and I'll see you in the next one.